Take another deep breath in and breathe out. One more time, deep breath in and breathe out. Allow your breath to just settle into neutral. Begin to just notice the weight of your body in your chair or on your couch or the floor. Feeling the ground beneath your feet or your bottom. Noticing the way that you're supported in this moment. Perhaps now just guiding your energy, attention, and awareness to your breath. Noticing the easy rise and fall of your chest. Feeling that cool breath flowing in and that warm breath flowing out. Just seeing what sensations are present in your body right now in this moment. If you were to do a scan from the top of your head, gently and easily down across your face, neck, shoulders, all the way down slowly and easily to the tips of your toes, just noticing what sensations are present. Maybe you notice tension or looseness. Maybe you can sense energy, pain, discomfort. Itchiness. Just taking this moment to gently check in with your body. We move through our lives so quickly, and it never dawns on us sometimes to just slow down and check in with this vessel. As you're noticing and sensing, also just noticing if there are any thoughts that are drifting through your mind. Imagine as though they're clouds, allowing them to just float by, not grabbing them or attaching or engaging with them. Just noticing and then releasing. Because you see everything, your entire life. It's not happening in the past. It's not happening in the future. It's happening right now. And the greatest gift you can give yourself is presence. Being fully available to what is. And as you sit in this presence with yourself, noticing what emotions might be stirring inside. Maybe you're content, happy, sad, frustrated. Maybe you feel anxious. Whatever it is, again, just noticing, not trying to fix it or change it. Just allow and be present to it. And from this place, I invite you to call forward and call up one, maybe two big shifts that you've had in the last 7 days as you've been continuing to listen to your everlasting enoughness recording, as you stepped into your perfect day visions, as you worked on your vision boards. Shifts in your thoughts, your feelings, or your actions. Big wins, or maybe even the little ones, but that are actually really big. Taking a moment just to honor those things in you, those choices, those feelings, those new beginnings. Reminding yourself that just by choosing to be here, by choosing to be in this moment, that you are enough. Now go ahead and take another nice deep breath in and breathe out. And whenever you feel ready, you can slowly and easily open up your eyes. Mhm. Hello, ladies. So, I'd like to hear in the chat really quickly before we move into our shares. What was stirring for you? What were you noticing as we were going through that presencing practice? So just go ahead and share with me now. I'm curious, what were you noticing in your body? What were you noticing in your feelings, in your emotional self? What were you noticing in your thoughts? Just share with us now, because presence is the doorway to everything that we want. When we are really fully present to the now, to this moment, that's when we can really stand in our worthiness. It's when we're not in fear or doubt or uncertainty or worry. It's when we can just be. And that's all we really want, right? Is just to be. Yeah. So Carrie says, I was irritated by noisy downstairs neighbors. Then I simply noticed being irritated and it didn't attach any meaning to it. That's huge, Carrie. It's really huge. Mindy says anxiety and a tenseness, which I was able to disperse a little bit, right? It's funny, that's probably been just hanging in there all day. When you just take a moment just to turn towards it, it gives it a subtle like opening to release, right? And Kelly says, I noticed in my body a point of tension that is bothering me due to my work. I also noticed tingling sensations in my fingers and toes. Yeah. Carrie says, a lot of stress and overwhelm. Can only think about the headache I have. Yeah. So there's so much that's up When we just slow down, we allow ourselves to experience what's really up for us in a moment. The things that, we've been blowing by all day and not paying attention to or honoring that are really calling forward our attention. So as you notice, I like to do these practices of breathing and presencing and mindfulness, and we're going to continue to keep doing these. And I invite you, anything that I guide you through here is a tool for you to take and practice in your daily life. As you see, that took just a couple of minutes. An opportunity for you just to slow down and breathe and just scan your body, check in with your emotions, check in with the thoughts that are floating by, and not attaching to any of it, but just simply witnessing and noticing it is a great tool for you to stop any of the habitual thinking, negative thinking that's running the day, running the show, running the life that you're living, and instead redirect your energy, attention, and awareness towards the things that you choose and desire. So, who feels called to share first? We're going to have 3 minutes each per person. I'm going to put a little timer on here. And who's feeling called to begin? Yvonne, I've got you on mute. So if you're ready to speak, you can just take yourself off of mute. So who's feeling called? Carrie.
This was a really wonderful week. It's week 2 of my new job, and everyone has been like blowing me away with how supportive they are. And I had an idea for at work, and in my old job, like any ideas that I would bring up, it would be sort of like they would pat me on the head and be like, "That's a nice girl. Now you go back and do your work," and we don't want to hear it. Whereas in this new department, they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. That's so great." It, whether or not they run with it, it sure feels good to be listened to. I feel like I'm helping and improving things. And then for my passion business, for knitting and yarn, I'm so close to breaking $1,000 this month, which is a huge amount in August of all places. Yeah. And I haven't made 4 figures in August since I started the business. So that feels so good. Yeah. So that's a huge win. And just doing the vision board was such a wonderful exercise. And I combined it with a little feng shui. And I noticed that in the romance and romantic love corner of my main living area was a closet, and it was filled with detritus. And so I took a few minutes and I cleaned out all of the extra stuff that was in that closet and just purged and hung up some flowers and pink paper and just feng shuied that corner, just setting that intention to make space for romantic love in my life. Yeah, so it was a big week.
It's a really big week, Carrie. Yay! Everybody, let's honor Carrie for her amazing shift. I'm curious to know, what does it feel like to create that space for love to show up in your life?
It feels so exciting. I also put a big corner in my vision board devoted to it. And I wrote down the word wedding and, and put images of champagne and travel and hearts and, and also like literally making space. I mean, I know I cleaned out a closet, but just making space physically and inside for a partner is, it's exciting.
I'm noticing that there's a theme for you so far in your shifting, that a lot of the worthiness work is showing up in terms of worthiness around love. Does that feel true?
Completely. Yeah, completely. And And also asking for more, not being satisfied with the crumbs, whether that be in like personal relationships or like just thinking small in my side business or thinking small in my day job, um, which is what I used to do. And now I'm like, well, I'm just going to play big and see what happens and be playful about it.
Playful. What a great word. I love
Yeah.
that word. You know, there's so much. Does anybody ever feel like it's like serious business to like step into your purpose and your potential, and you got to be like serious and really drive it and I love that the idea of bringing levity to your expansion.
Yeah.
Really beautiful and wonderful to see that you're stepping into that idea of like I'm not a crumb eater anymore, you know, like I don't want the crumbs, I want the meal, you know, I want the steak, I want the good stuff. I'm
Yeah. Yes.
not settling for crumbs anymore. I'm so thrilled for you for that, and I can't wait to see how your vision board reflects that. So thank you, Carrie.
Thanks.
Do you feel complete?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Thank you. All right, who feels called to go next? All right, Kelly.
I think all my changes are always just little, but who knows? I absolutely loved doing the perfect day hypnosis. That was so great. I didn't want to end the vision, and
Mhm.
it's just been with me the entire week. And it definitely played a part in my vision board where I searched for pictures that matched or at least came close to images that I saw in my vision so that I could keep that as a real visual in front of me, plus adding some other things. But it's definitely just added to my hopefulness and excitement for what is yet to come.
Mm.
It's been really
Kelly, can you try turning up your volume on your computer a little bit? I think we're having a tough time hearing you.
maybe I need to sit closer to my microphone too.
Yeah, that's better. That's already a little bit. Carrie, can you hear her yet?
Are you okay? No, I have my
And
microphone at full on full.
I can hear you. It's a little better when you come closer.
Okay, I don't want to be too close. Anyway, do I need to repeat anything?
No. I think what I heard you say, I'll just share back for the group. You were talking about Kelly was sharing how for her, she created the vision board, and it was really nice for her to have the visual representation of what you witnessed in your perfect day. Am I getting you? That was like a really rewarding experience. And then you were about to go on and say something else.
I'm trying to remember what else I was going to say.
You
uh,
said that.
just really that experience has just stuck with me all week, and has it's just right there and constantly in the back of my mind as what I am aiming for. And I think even if just a fraction of it were to come to become a reality, it would just be absolutely amazing. So I'm really excited about that, and excited to have my vision board to look at and review every day. I put motivational quotes and things on there. I even found ones that say "You are enough," that go perfectly with the different RTTs that we've been listening to. And it's just really great. It's been such a good week in that respect, just focusing what it is that I really want in my life and trying to bring that into it and be looking for that and try not to settle. And I really love the comment that Carrie made about not settling for crumbs. So I wrote that down. I don't want to settle for crumbs either. I want to go.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, Kelly, what is it like? How does it impact you when you focus on what you really want and what you really desire in your life? And what is that changing for you?
It's definitely changing how I'm spending my time, my free
Mm.
time. Uh, I am trying to, as I think about the business that I want to start and that even ties in with some of my part of my vision that I had in my perfect day. So I'm trying to use my time better to actually research the information I need to research and start putting things into place to prepare myself to make that move.
Mm.
Playing a game or, being on Facebook just generically or whatever. I'm using my time better.
That's such a huge shift to go from kind of numbing out and distracting to instead taking aligned action. It's so powerful when you start to see your purpose. Hi, Yvonne. When you start to see your purpose in front of you in a visual way, in such a tangible way, then there's a motivation and a desire to change the way you act on a daily basis so that you can bring it to life. Because otherwise you can feel that you're out of integrity with this vision and you're like, this doesn't feel good. Like, I don't want to play a game. I want to make that,
Right.
So I totally see that. And that's a big deal. And I love seeing your action around the checklist of activities for your business. And I'm excited to continue to see how that shows up for you over the next few days as you keep stepping into it. So everyone, let's celebrate our sister, Kelly. Yay, whoop, whoop.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Do you feel complete with your share?
Yes. I do.
Thank you. All right. Who is feeling burning to go next? I'll call on you if I have to. You gonna make me? All right, Mindy.
Okay, I'll go. I just didn't feel like I had a lot to say. It's been a really kind of busy, stressful week. My husband and I are taking over the family business starting September 1st, and we're buying out his dad and taking over. It's a landscape business, and so I'm going from being an at-home freelance bookkeeper back to full-time in the office, and it's just stressful. It's hard to go back to that after being kind of free. But doing the perfect day vision, though, I did feel focused, and I felt more confident in the move to go back. I mean, we're kind of setting ourselves up for retirement. And so I looked at it that way instead of like, oh, I got to go back to work. Instead, I'm looking at it like I'm going back, but it's now my business, not someone else's. And we can do what we want with it. We can make it our own. So that's sort of what I'm looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. What else? What else has been up for you this week?
Oh, had to go to Montana for a wedding.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But again, stressful. It's a long drive.
Mm-hmm. And what are you noticing in terms of your shifts around your thoughts or your feelings around your worthiness?
Like I said, mostly the confidence. Like I felt a little more settled with this thought of going back to work than I have been. Just more settled, more confident, and more of, I can do this. Like, it'll be okay.
I can do this. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what other thoughts are you noticing around this? I'm curious.
Oh, just that, I mean, I don't even know. It's a lot of going back to something that I didn't think I was going to go back to. So I think it's a little bit, it was depressing at first, but, and I'm just trying to get past that and try to have more optimism about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that going back to this, at first you were associating with going back to a job and going back to the office, and it was depressing at first. And now you're associating more optimism to it, and you're seeing it as an opportunity to plan for your retirement and to do something your way and to take ownership over it instead. Is that right?
It is. Yeah. And it's a chance to, like I said, we've always had big dreams for the company, but when someone else is in charge, you don't get to follow through. And so now I'm starting to look forward to that follow through and being able to do things for our employees that we never could before, things like that.
Mm-hmm. And your dog that you're going to get eventually, clearly.
That's right. That's right. That future dog.
That future dog. Yes. Yes, I look forward to meeting him, her one day when he comes into your life.
Me too.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Mindy. Everybody, let's shower Mindy with some love for her big shift around stepping into this business. And we are holding you, and we're here to support you in that process of taking that on, because it's a big change. You're right. It's a big transition. And it may bring up a lot of stuff for you in the first few weeks, especially. So I want you just to know that this space is a place for you to bring that. It's not just about like only talking about the assignments and the yes moves, you know? So if something's coming for you around this, bring it to us, and we're here to support you. We're here to coach you.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you feel complete in your share? Awesome. Thanks, Mindy. Okie doke. Who's feeling called now? Yvonne, Carrie, who'd like to go? Carrie, go ahead.
Maybe. There we go. Well, I've not had a great week like everybody else. So I posted earlier that I just struggled. I feel like I've just had so much to do. I had some church projects that I was doing, and it's going to continue into this week some, but not as much. But and I just didn't get the things. I mean, these are things that I want to do, but it just happened all at once, and so I haven't been able to get like anything else done between that and my little guy. So I don't know. I feel like I haven't made a whole lot of progress as far as like this class goes and everything. I'm still listening to the nightly every night and everything, but I haven't really had any like shifts, or I had a really good week last week, and then I did continue with I had organized some things, and I've kept that up, which I'm really glad of, because normally it would last a few days and then that would be done. It'd be back to normal. But so that's good. But other than that, I don't really have much happening.
So first of all, that's not a small thing. To make a change around a habit like organization and then to continue to sustain it is pretty big.
Yeah, I guess so. I just had hoped to organize more things, and I haven't done that. So, but the stuff I did organize has stayed organized. So
That in and of itself is a really big thing, in the midst, by the way, of you taking on a bunch of new projects at work and being there for your son.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you see that?
Yes. Yeah, that is good. I should give myself credit for that.
Yeah. And I'm curious to know, in those projects with work, how are you doing around feeling comfortable being seen and speaking up? And it sounds like you're taking a leadership role in this. So what's that been like?
Yeah. Well, and it's church, it's not work, but it feels like a job sometimes. But well, and actually I did make a video. As far as you talking about being seen, I had to they asked me to make a video for the nursery program, because we're having several other people did other aspects of church and stuff. So I had to write a script and get kind of videoed, and so I was pretty nervous, but not as nervous as I would have been before. So
Tell me, what were you noticing as you were, yeah, I agree, Kelly. What were you noticing as you were stepping into that process of creating the video, in terms of your thinking or your feelings?
It was definitely easier, and I just didn't worry so much about like what other people might think. And because I almost didn't do the video too for the class, and I did end up doing that one too. So I guess those two things are pretty good too.
Yeah. I mean, just being on camera in our group was a big stretch for you in our very first call. And what I'm hearing you say is that you just completed a video project and you felt pretty much okay with it. That's going to be in public.
I don't know why I'm crying. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's pause here. What do you think these tears are about?
I don't know. I've just been so overwhelmed this week, but I guess I'm just not giving myself credit for certain things.
And when you don't give yourself credit, how does that, what are you recognizing when you're not giving yourself that credit?
Just that I don't know. I just still feel all twisted inside, like I feel knotted, and like even just talking about this, I feel like I'm just gonna explode. So,
Can you tell me if you close your eyes for a second?
sorry, my husband who knows I'm in a class. Okay.
Good, you just set a boundary there. That was good.
Yeah.
So if you just close your eyes and you just breathe for a second, and I want you to feel into that space that feels like that twisted, exploding sensation. Where do you sense that in your body?
Chest.
In the center of your chest and the side, can you tell me where?
On my shoulders.
Your chest and your,
Maybe that's why I have a headache. I'm not sure.
yeah, might be, yeah.
I'm fighting all day with the headache.
Yeah, so if that tension, that sensation had a voice, what would it say?
Just even though you're overwhelmed, just take a step back and it'll be okay.
Even though you're overwhelmed, take a step back and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So as you say that, what are you noticing with that tension and that twisting sensation? Does it stay the same? Is it changing?
It's getting less.
Is it moving or is it just calming?
It's just in my shoulders, not in my chest anymore.
So, yeah, so say that again. Everything's okay.
Everything's okay. Even though you're overwhelmed, it'll be okay.
Yeah. You breathe that sensation of it all being okay and just breathe that into your shoulders, just like yeah.
That feels better.
It's a beautiful act of kindness that you just gave yourself. And when we're going a million miles a minute, sometimes it's hard for us to recognize and give ourselves credit for the things that are going well, right? Does anybody else resonate with that? Yeah. The truth is that even when you feel stretched, you're still making progress. And in fact, what I'm seeing from the outside is that you're kind of almost like on a rocket ship of progress right now.
It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like it. So I just need to like maybe just breathe and think about the things that I am doing.
Yeah. Taking on a leadership role in your community, making yourself visible multiple times in a very short amount of time, overcoming a big fear of being seen, showing up for your son. It's a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
I feel better.
Yeah. It's kind of funny when we start getting the things that we want. At first, we're kind of like, ah! Like, I want all of these things, but whoa, now, like right now, shit.
Yeah. I definitely feel more relaxed now.
Good. And you know what always helps me, and this is for everyone, is just to remember that God, grace, universe, source, spirit, Mother Nature, whatever that is for you, it's got you. You're guided and you're not alone. So congratulations, Carrie. Everyone, let's give Carrie some big love.
Thank you.
Do you feel complete in your share?
Yes.
Thank you, Carrie. All right, Yvonne.
Hey, hi everybody.
Hi.
Oh, I'm assuming we're talking about the perfect day.
We're talking now about your big shift for the week and your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. It may be related to perfect day,
Okay.
maybe related to something else. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I would say that one big shift, one very visible shift is that I don't know how many people know this about me, but I've been practicing law for a long time, and kind of feel like I don't really have anything to show for it monetarily, because I was in public service, and now I work for a corporation that makes billions, but I still don't really get paid. So I have a job interview in the morning with the corporation that actually will. They're going to increase my pay by 60%, and I will actually have less work to do. Imagine that. So it's a second round interview. It's with the general counsel of the company. That's tomorrow morning. So that's something that's very, very visible. Yeah. So, because Jessica, when I talked to you, I said, I'm on the verge of another job. This job had not even been announced when I said that. So
wow.
So that is something that is very visible and something very big. And for me, I any job that I take on is really I look at it as my angel investor. That's how I see it, because I do have a larger purpose that I believe God has put me on the earth to fulfill. But the practice of law is what is going to fund that purpose. And so I am super excited about that. And then the other big shift that I have experienced, and I noticed this during the Perfect Day series. It's interesting because it kind of clarified some things for me, because there's some things that I've been struggling with in terms of what I feel like I should want to have versus what I want to have. I'm 37 years old. I've never been married. I have no kids. And I feel like sometimes there's this pressure it's like, you're 37, like, where are your kids? Hey, where's your husband? Hey. And, what I've come to realize when I did my visualization was that the kids weren't there. And that's not to say that I won't want them in the future, but I definitely don't want them right now. And so, I made a decision, I'm going to give it another year, and then I'm probably going to freeze my eggs. So put them over there just in case. And I've also decided too, in that Perfect Day visualization, that as much as I love Philadelphia, like I really do like the city. And I don't necessarily feel like it's like there's no purpose here for me anymore. But, I really want to live somewhere tropical. Like, I really want to move to Miami. And I've been saying that for 5 years, and I've never done anything about it. And so I just made that decision. So I was like, yeah, like you're gonna eventually move to that area, and yeah, I won't necessarily get rid of my house in Philadelphia, like, because I have a goal of being able to be in several different places, and call several different places home. But I definitely want to invest in a home eventually in Miami. So.
Wow, Yvonne. I step away from you guys for like a week and everybody's like, boom, 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 boom. Wow, that is amazing. So I heard you say that you have manifested a job opportunity, which is essentially an angel investing opportunity. I love that reframe. That's such a powerful way to look at that for all the other ladies here who maybe have other work that you're doing that's supporting you as you're building a business. Like, that is such a beautiful reframe. I love that. I'm gonna have to steal that. I hope you don't mind. And I'm also hearing that your perfect day sparked a lot of choices. Like you've made decisions for yourself now. And that is so powerful to say, I'm no longer going to wonder and worry and fret. I've just decided, you know what? I am where I am. And in a year, I'm going to freeze my eggs and it will be what it is when it is. And then with Miami, you're like, I'm choosing to go there. It's not like this dream of a maybe or a might be. It's like, nope, that's happening for me. And that is so, so powerful. I want to know, what does that feel like? Like, what are you noticing in the shift in your energy and in your body as you've been stepping into these decisions? Like when you make each choice, what happens for you physically?
You know, it's almost like this sigh of, it's like a sense of relief. It's like this sense of, like, it's like, well, what, like, it's like, well, what are you, like, what are you, why, like, why are you here? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you walking down the street with all this trash? Like, and it gets cold. Like, what, like, why? Like, like I get it. Like, but I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I don't have anything holding me here. So what is it? Why? You know what I mean? Like, what is it that is stopping me? So it's actually like, just like this big, like, nice, it's like a sense of relief. And it's a sense of, you know, not always, because it's sometimes there's a feeling of, there's something better over there. Well, you know, I'm gonna find out what that something better is. We're gonna figure that out. You know what I mean? And maybe it's not. Maybe Miami is totally horrible. You know what I mean? And maybe I'll hate it and it'll suck and it'll sink. I don't know. But I'm gonna figure it out, as opposed to just living life and being like, I don't know, I like it down here. Every time I'm down here, I just love it so much. So it feels good. It feels really good.
That is so powerful. So what I'm hearing here is I'm not settling for crumbs anymore.
Nah.
It's the same thing. This is, I think you guys remember me telling you this when you start to do this work, especially with the subconscious, you just stop settling. You just stop settling. Like, I'm not going to deal with the disorganized space in the house. I'm going to clean it up. I'm no longer settling for that. I'm not going to have this trash and this cold. Like, I'm not settling for that anymore. I'm not settling for the inaction around my business and thinking and wishing and wondering what my action steps are going to be. I'm going to go do it. I'm not settling for this feeling of like victimhood and being trapped in this job opportunity or this new business. I'm going to take it on and make it my own. Like, I'm not settling anymore. Right?
Great.
I'm done hiding. I'm done playing the victim. I'm done waiting for life to happen to me. I'm going to start creating a life for me. Yeah, and it's super, super powerful. I honor your choicefulness and I honor the power in your choice. Thank you, Yvonne. Yay! Yeah, look at Natasha's. We shower you with love. Thank you, thank you. She's like, gimme, gimme, gimme. Do you feel complete in your share?
I do feel complete in my share. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Awesome. Man, this is such an amazing energy and a great place for us to catapult into our vision board shares. So wherever you are in the process of your vision board, you know, some of you may not be fully complete with it yet. Some of you may be. Hopefully you did get a chance to complete it. So who has their vision board ready to share tonight? Raise your hand. Awesome. Great. So if you don't have it yet, that's not a problem. What I invite you to do is to actually get it done and then share it in the group. This week, you'll do a video of a show and tell with us in the group instead. And I'd like you to commit to having that done this week. What's today? It's Tuesday, by Thursday. If you can have it done by Thursday, that gives you another 48 hours to complete it, because I promise you, I've said this already, doing your vision board, it will manifest. I've had clients who've been working with me for years and have created multiple vision boards, and they have to keep creating new vision boards because everything gets done on the first board. And they're like, well, I already did all that, so I guess I need to create a new board. I mean, from getting married and having a baby, I had one client who put a baby on her board, and then like 4 months later, she and her husband got pregnant, and they've been trying for a long time. I've had women manifest trips to Africa, new job opportunities, increased wealth. I mean, you name it, homes. It's possible. So these vision boards are really important, and it sends a message to the universe around what you're choosing. And it's so beautiful to give yourself that gift. So let's get inspired with each other now. Who feels excited to share their vision board with us to start? Carrie.
All right. So here's my love and marriage corner. I used the color pink, which was auspicious, and like I said, I have like champagne and hearts and an airplane and love. And this was from a Bumble magazine. I don't know if the words are backwards, but it says,
Yep, we attract
what we are ready for.
Yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed about that. Not even fingers crossed. This is happening.
There you go. Nice catch.
Whew. So years ago, I drew like my ideal business area, like a knitting space and like a ton of beautiful storage and these like tall windows. And I have a heart in the top because I want to be known for my heart-centered leadership. And the sunflower is just like happiness and blossoming, as far as my business being like helping people and growing. And then the eggs stand for egg wisdom. So like if you're ovulating, you don't like go rushing down your fallopian tubes to see if there's a sperm coming to get you. You're like, you just sit there in all of your egg glory and the sperm come to you. So it's not just for like, I don't want to have another baby, but that's just like for opportunities and that kind of thing. It's just,
I love that.
yeah, I like to have the egg wisdom. And then this is my wealth corner. And so I put down the butterfly as a symbol of transformation. And it's hard to see, but they're like these little diamonds and money signs and the words aha for like, let's see what else I have. Oh, and so this is my wealth corner, just like being really physically fit and running and stretching and yoga and water and lifting weights and that kind of thing. And then here is like my growth area, like I will grow, and I put little bottles of champagne like everywhere, not because I'm a lush, but just because it's for like on Friday nights, I like to have champagne moments, which is what Demir and Carrie taught me about. And just like in my vision board, I want to make sure there's a lot of opportunity for celebration, like acknowledging that I have done this and like celebrating each step of the journey. I absolutely love my vision board, and I have it right up on my desk, and I love looking at it. So
it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I want to know, what was it like for you? Like, what insights or awarenesses did you have as you were creating this?
Well, I've done vision boards for a long time, but I haven't had one up for like a couple years. And so it came very naturally to me. The time flew by. But I think like, I don't know, like I started to look for a new home, like a new place to live that is kind of similar to my drawing, like a renovated schoolhouse or a historic building that has just that space. And I think it just represents like space to grow. Gosh, I just did this on Sunday, but you know, it's been wonderful. So yeah.
It's amazing. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. Wonderful job. Such an inspiration. The health, the wealth, the love, the richness of that, this beautiful space to create in, and then the reflection of that in your real life, the inspiration to actually clear space in your life, both love and for creativity. And the egg wisdom, it really underscores a point of the feminine, which is that we as women are meant to receive.
Yes, exactly.
We are physically built to receive.
Yeah.
Biologically, we are built to receive. And that is so much about this new feminine paradigm that we're entering into, is that women have been brought up in a masculine paradigm, which is to push, to effort, to penetrate life, right? To like really like push our way into and through in our creative processes and the way that we build businesses, et cetera. But that's not how women are designed. We're designed to manifest, to make, to bring towards, to attract in. And that is one of the reasons why I think women are leaving and starting businesses in droves, because this is a natural way for us to create. And we are actually challenging the way that creation happens in our work and in our lives, and stepping out of that masculine paradigm. So I love the egg wisdom. Thank you for sharing that. It's such a cool visual, and connecting that back to our biology. It's really, really rad. I love that. Thank you, Carrie. Awesome. 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 Okay. Who wants to share next? I'm just checking in on the chat too. It's beautiful. You guys are so loving and supportive. Who wants to share next? Guys. All right, Kelly.
I just always feel like I'm pushing myself to the front, so I want to give others a chance to go first.
Let me just say something about that. Have any of you guys heard my talk on the Big Leap and the 4 false beliefs in the book, The Big Leap? Well, all of you need to read that book. It's a life-changing book. And one of the false beliefs is the crime of outshining, which is, it's not okay for me to be the front. It's not okay for me to outshine. I need to make myself small, give other people a chance. And Kelly, I just want to say that in this space, raise your hand first if you want to raise your hand first. Jump in first if you want to jump in first. Trust that everyone else here has the opportunity to do that if they feel called to it. So don't make yourself small here.
Okay.
Feel me?
If I do that, it's good. I have permission.
You have permission.
So, I'm not a scrapbooker at all, but I went big, so I got a bulletin board.
Love it.
Hopefully I can show this to you and you can hear me loud enough as well. And I really used my perfect day visualization that really drove the majority of this. So I have a lot of pictures of like places around my home, because that seemed to be the biggest center point of my perfect day. I was in my home, in my bedroom, in my awesome kitchen, in my backyard, in this beautiful bathroom, taking this awesome shower. And so, I don't have any magazines at all. So I decided, rather than spend the money on magazines where I'd maybe cut out a few things, I just searched for images that, until I found things that matched close to what I had envisioned. So to start out with, I have some beautiful pictures of some backyard areas with, a swimming pool. That was part of my vision, and a nice little fire pit where I got to sit with my friends. I really am feeling inspired to design my own house so I can actually bring this vision. And so even this morning while I was eating breakfast, I started sketching out a really rough floor plan, which is a lot harder than I thought. But I put some other floor plan pictures in here just that have some ideas that I really like. And I have lots of just quotes around that are very motivational to me.
Can you read one or two of them to us?
Like this one says, I am destined for success. This one says, you alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anyone. This one, you are enough. And this one says, actually, I can. And another one I have says, you are powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and brave. I have lots of them there to be motivational. I want to do a lot of travel, so I put some pictures of some travel. I have a place in Germany that's been on my bucket list for years I want to go to. I'm a huge Disney fan, so a Disney cruise and an annual pass holder is on my list of things to do. I live in Idaho, so it's not like any Disney property is convenient, but that's not going to stop me.
Nope.
So then in my vision, I also pictured having an art studio in there, which that was really interesting to me because I've never thought of ever having an art studio. All of my art has always been computer stuff, but the business that I'm talking about doing is a painting business. And so I envisioned this great area, this room where I could go and create my own art and then have a class where I'm teaching other people later. And so I tried to find some representation of that. I couldn't find anything that quite matched, of course, but that it just helps me to remember that that is something that I definitely want to have in my life. And then I have some other pictures in this corner that are other areas in the home, you know, my gorgeous kitchen, my beautiful bathroom, and a wonderful bedroom with this great cushy bed that I get to wake up and go to sleep in. I found this other quote says, I am financially abundant. So I put some many pictures, and to be debt free is a big thing for me that I want. So I wanted to remind myself of that. And switching back to this other side. So I want to continue to be healthy. So I put some good pictures here, and I want to, you know, be able to dress my body in clothes that I love and feel comfortable with. And one thing that I haven't shared is that I've been working really hard at losing weight, and I have released 36 pounds in 3 months. And so I'm feeling great about that. It's the first time in my life I've ever done anything like that. And I really feel like it's a lasting change finally.
Wow.
I want to definitely keep that. I think that's why I love the idea that I have a swimming pool in my perfect day, so I can use that as a great form of exercise. And then like Carrie too, I have great hopes of finding love again. So I put some pictures down here to represent getting married again. I mean, this picture right here is the actual dress I want to wear. And I want to go to Paris on my honeymoon. So I'm going to manifest those things. But I just love this because all of these things just make me feel so good about myself, and just I feel so happy and at peace with all of these things that it just remind me that this is the kind of life that I want to have, and that I can share it with my family and with my friends, and it just brings me a lot of joy. So
I see that.
Bulletin board so that as my ideas change, or you know, I can add to it or replace if I find something I like better. That it's totally a work in progress, constantly moving and changing and growing.
I love that. It's so beautiful. And can you guys all see like the joy and like the happiness? Like you're just like radiating and beaming as you're talking about this vision that you have and sharing it. And it's so full and it's so rich, and there's so many beautiful details that you have, and this home that represents like all of the pieces of your life, you know? This home that has the creative expression for you, and that has the space for love for you, and the space for nourishment for you, and rest and beauty. It's got it all. And I'm so thrilled to hear that you're giving yourself permission to sketch that out and to start to imagine what it would look like, and to just make it tangible. That's absolutely amazing. And so what would you say was your biggest insight for yourself as you were creating this? What came up as your big aha?
Well, I realized that nobody's ideas that are already out there on the internet to find perfectly match. And so I'm going to create it myself. I just figured, you know, I can pull ideas from other people, just like we always are taught to learn from other people. So there are great ideas that are out there, and I can gather, okay, I like this from that, you know, especially when I'm thinking floor plan specifically. It's like, oh, I like this room and I like that one. I'm going to piece it together, but it will ultimately be my own, totally unique and individual, and not like anybody else's. And I don't know why, but I have always been that way, where I'd hate it if I ever wore the same shirt as somebody else. You know, it's like, oh, now I want to change my shirt because I didn't want to match anybody. I'm going to overcome some of that, but I think it's part of that independence, individuality that is definitely one of my core values that has really made itself manifest through this whole process.
Yes, I feel you. I really feel you right now. Like, do you guys feel her? She's like, like she's like right here with us, right? Like she's like, I'm an individual. I'm unique. I'm special. I'm different and I'm looking to express that. I'm not like that room or that room. I'm making it my way. You're like Frank Sinatra, like Burger King life or whatever, you know, it's like, it's like my way or the highway. And I'm loving that fierceness from you. I feel that. I really do feel your leadership in that. Honestly, I would follow you someplace, like wherever you want to go. Like, I don't know, I'm going where Kelly's going. She's got a plan. So I'm so thrilled for you and overjoyed for you for that realization. And I just want to reflect that to the whole group. Like, so much of, I'll speak for myself. Most of my life I've spent trying to do what I thought was right based on what other people were doing. And building my business or my career or finding the right partner or my body was always a comparative process. Looking at what other people had, looking at what other people saw, what other people looked like, and then trying to copy that, mirror that. But what really feels good to us is when we just allow ourselves to do it in a way that feels unique to us. And that beautiful realization that despite all of the pictures out there in the world, despite all of the images out there in the world, all of the homes built all over the world, none of them were quite like you. And that's the truth. Of all the people in the world, there's no one out there quite like you. You have your own special house with your own special rooms and your own special decorations and your own special energy. It's really beautiful. And I appreciate you surfacing that for us, Kelly. Thank you. Let's give our girl some love for her beautiful dream home life. Thank you, Kelly. Awesome. Okay. So we have Mindy and Yvonne. Who's feeling ready? All right, awesome. I think you're on mute.
I'm on mute.
Okay, there you go.
Hold on. I'm gonna turn this around and go this way. So you can walk me. You can't see it. Hold on. Okay. All right. Can you all see this?
Yes, there's a little, yeah, that's better. We can see it better like that, or at least I can.
Okay, good. All righty. Okay. Move it. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so I used some pictures that I had, and because I didn't go by them, I just wasn't trying to do that. And I really found myself, you know, kind of focusing on the Miami piece that I was talking about, incorporating that into like my plan for my business and that. So I have up here, I'm gonna bring this down over there. There we go.
Yeah, perfect.
So here you see it says the best. The best. Yes, the best. That's it's interesting. Like that has always been like one of my a part of one of my work passwords. And when I started saying that, I was just singing like the Drake song, "The best I ever had, best you never had." And I would always say, "Oh, well, I'm not really that. I'm not really the best." And then after a while, I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I am the best. So this just kind of represents my motto in life is the best. And I put my business like in the center of it, which is my life motto and the name of my business that I'm working on getting trademarked and working on just, you know, creating. She does what she wants. I put up here this beautiful little Porsche red car because I haven't had a car since 2007. I don't own a car. So I was like, you know what? I want a little car and I want it to be nice. So I put that up here. And then I wrote manifesting deliberately up here because I think that's important to remember that we're always creating and we're always manifesting something. So you might as well manifest what the hell you want. I put love where you live. And then I found like a little bitty magazine that said Miami on it. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna put that here because that just makes sense. And then I put, I couldn't find any pictures of money, but I think that that's really important for several reasons, obviously. So I tried to draw money. And then I also said 25,000 my monetary goal to start off. I think that's like a realistic number that I can actually believe in. So here, I put this picture up here because I love kimonos. It's kind of like my thing because to me, it's like very feminine. I like the way it flows and
Oh, she froze.
This kimono costs like $4,000. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get the $4,000 kimono. You know? So this is just a reminder of that. And then I also have creative freedom here, just because I believe that that's so incredibly important for me to constantly channel that and constantly not feel tied down by other people and what other people think about me. Here there's a lot of houses and there's a lot of outdoor space. I come to realize about myself that I love water and I love like outdoor spaces. So I just put a lot of just beautiful images of, you know, some type of montage of what I would want my space to look like eventually. I put this picture here. It's like a picture of like a spa because that represents me taking care of myself and me making sure that I'm always putting myself first. I put here #1 life coach in the world because I am and I will be.
Because the best.
Because I'm the best, absolutely. I put, you know, just some words down that, you know, were important, like consistency, love, God, body, student, because I feel like it's always important to be a student in life, and the movement, because I really am starting a movement. You know, I didn't want to put like, like usually when I've done vision boards in the past, I've done like, you know, the big wedding ring, and I'm like, listen, all that stuff is coming. I've already manifested that shit. It's in the spirit. So I was like, let me focus on this right here because this is where I'm at right now. So there we go.
It's amazing, Yvonne. Yay! Oh, everybody like, wow. I love the intentionality of it. I feel that you're calling in what's present for you now. And I love that you've already trusted that you've already got things in the vortex that are already cooking. And so now you're choosing to place these things in the vortex that are most present for you today, from the, you know, the little red Porsche to the house in Miami and the water spaces, you know, and the money and these key words that are super important to you. And by the way, one thing that I want to call out, I love that you drew money on the board, even though you couldn't find it. You know, like that is actually like, it seems like a small thing, but to be like, you know what? I don't care if it's not there. I'm going to create it. You know, it's a small, like subconscious thing that you did there, but that is what you chose. You're like, I don't care if it's not here. I'm going to make it anyway. I'm going to draw it on here because like, I'm getting it no matter what. And that is like a small thing, but a big thing. It's just fun to see your vibrancy. You know, I see so much life in you as you shared this. And I just want to reflect back like that joy and that exuberance in your process. Cause I feel you being the best because you are the best. Like, I feel you when you say that. I believed you. Did you believe her? Like, I believed her. I believed you when you said that. Like, you enrolled me, and I'm super enrolled. And I still love your business name. I think it's just brilliant and genius, and you're going to change so many people's lives. All of you guys are life changers. And so, Yvonne, thank you so much for sharing your vision with us. It's absolutely amazing. And by the way, being carless, I was carless for the last almost 6 years, and I just bought a car yesterday. Yep. And I'll tell you, this goes to the idea of manifesting and getting it. We're going to talk about this in a minute. It's kind of a perfect dovetail, but for a while I've been saying that I want a new car. I've been driving, I moved here to North Carolina. I didn't have a car. My parents have a GMC Yukon, like 2000 GMC Yukon, like big truck, SUV truck. And they're like, here, you can just borrow this from us until you figure out what you want to do. So I've been driving this big old truck with like a cracked out stereo system. And like, it's just, I love it, but it's country ghetto fabulous, and it's fine. Every time I get in that car, I'm just like Jeff Bezos from Amazon back in the day. He drove that Toyota, even though it had $1 billion. Like, that's me right now. Like, don't judge me from the outside. Like, I know what I've really got going on, but like, it's fine. So I thought I was going to get a Lexus. Then I was like, no, I want to get a Mini Cooper. Then I was like, no, I'm going to get a Beamer. And I decided to get a Fiat convertible. Like, totally unexpected, and it's used, and it just fell into my lap through serendipitous relationships with friends, and it's just like this tiny little thing just came to me, and I was like, you are not at all what I thought I needed and wanted, but I love you, and so I bought it. So I just share that with you because, you know, we put these things into the vortex, the house, the car, the career, whatever it is. And then what ends up showing up might be different, but it's still the essence of the request. So thank you guys for sharing your boards. And I think we just have Mindy left now.
Yes, it's me. By the way, as a Mini Cooper owner, I'm disappointed. They're awesome.
I know. I was so close. Like, I was so close. I was like about to sign.
Nice.
I need to rethink this. So I will get one eventually. My second time.
All right. Well, this is my very first vision board, and I never thought I would do a vision board, so I was a little weirded out. But I stole a bunch of magazines from work, so it was all landscaping and travel.
Awesome.
But I don't know. Can you guys see it okay? Okay. I have a quote, of course, by an author that just says, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. And mostly, I mean, it's just travel, places I want to go. There are houses too, like outdoor space. I heard somebody say, I agree. I love outdoor spaces. I also live in a 1930s teeny tiny house. So I really would like a bigger house. So I have some kitchens that actually have room to host people or, you know, be a host. I've got Petra because that's one of my dreams is to get to Petra someday. Yeah. I have another quote. It's never too late to get your shit together. This is kind of a reminder. I have some pictures that are more of like my cabin idea. I have a little turtle over here because I've been swimming with turtles and there's nothing better in the world than doing that. It's amazing. And I don't know, I even have a little tiny thing that you probably can't see, but it's books and a coffee cup because I can't live life without books and a coffee cup. So, so that was basically it. It's just, like I said, mostly travel, a little bit of home stuff. And my last quote on there was, life's too short for ordinary.
It's beautiful, Mindy. I love it. I love seeing your values reflected on that board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you see that? Like, it's so distinct. It's so distinct and it's so palpable. And I love that the vision of the cabin made it on there from The Perfect Day. And the coffee too, because you know that vision of starting the day with coffee and ending with bourbon. It's just so cool. One thing that I'm getting to know about you is that like you come across as like very sweet, but you've got like an edge to you. You know, like you've got a little badass edge in you, and I see that. I see you with that. You know, the bourbon. You're like, get your shit together. Like you got that. So, and I love also that you have like these dream places. Petra, it's funny that you mentioned Petra because I've been getting tons of pictures delivered to me about Petra over the last like 2 weeks on Instagram, Facebook. It's just suddenly just appearing. So maybe you can organize a trip for us for Petra.
That would be great.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
But I'm curious to know, since this is your first time creating a vision board, like what did it bring up for you in the process?
Just a lot of soul searching. Like, what am I going to put on here? And then I'm kind of stupid. It didn't even occur to me to I'm not artsy. So I was like, I didn't make any drawings or anything. I was like, oh, if I can't find it in a magazine, I guess I just can't do it.
So hold on, I want to check in with something that you just said. I think everybody else heard it. What did you do to yourself?
I'm always putting myself down.
Yeah.
hmm Yeah. But now that I've seen, like, I guess what you can do with a vision board, I would like to do another one. I think it would be fun.
And I also encourage you I'm hearing yourself comparing yourself a little bit. Is that true?
I didn't hear what you said.
I hear a little bit of comparison, like, oh, I didn't do anything artsy. I didn't draw. I just did magazines. Your vision board is you.
Yeah.
It's uniquely yours. You don't have to do anything artsy, whatever that means. It is art because you made it.
All right. Yeah, it turned out okay. I wasn't sure at first. It felt like a lot of woo, and I'm not really into woo.
What felt woo about it?
Just even the name, the vision board. I was like, all right.
Yeah, and
Get used to the idea.
yeah, and how did you feel afterwards?
I was like, yeah, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I like to look at vision boards as just like an opportunity to be creative, to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to like be like, what happens? I remember when I created my first vision board, I was second guessing every single thing I did. Did anybody else even have that experience occasionally here? Like, I know the first time I created it, I thought it didn't look pretty enough. And I thought everything that I would see, and I'd be like, oh, I want to cut this out. And I was like, well, should this go over here? And what if there's no themes? Like, I wasn't thinking about themes or grouping. Like, I didn't group it together. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't do it right. And that was really edgy for me. The first time I created my vision board, it was like, I had this strong piece coming up around wanting to do it right.
I'm pretty organized, but I was excited to I just threw it all out there, and that felt pretty good.
Good. So I'm glad you trusted that process. Yeah. But it can bring up a lot, like the process of making it and then seeing it afterwards, and then it can bring up judgment or be like, oh, did I go big enough? Did I play too small? Like whatever it is. But what came through you was meant to come through you, and what's on that board is so perfectly you.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. So let's everybody honor our sister Mindy for her first vision board. It's a big deal. Yay. Awesome. You guys did an amazing job. And Carrie, I don't think you got time to get to yours this week. Is that right? Yeah. So I look forward to seeing yours in the group when you get it done by Thursday. And I'm sure it's going to be perfect, whatever you put together. And we look forward to show and telling you with you as well. All right. So this is a perfect step into the exercise that we have for tonight and this week. So now you have all started to see the power of what it looks like and feels like when you begin to step into your worth. You're just at the beginning of this process, right? And you're already beginning to see these big palpable shifts. You've seen and felt what it's like to allow yourself to imagine a perfect day without the conscious mind getting in the way and shooting all over your vision. And now you've got a tangible asset that's a representation of that worthy reality that you have been rewiring into your mind. And just so you know, the reason why we create the vision board is to create a feedback loop from the external world back through your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. Every time you look at that vision board, you're reinforcing consciously the belief that what you want is available to you and that you're worthy of it. So that's why we do this. It's a visual trigger. It's a biological trick, and it works. So this is why we want you to keep your vision boards in a place where you spend a lot of time, where you can see it every single day. Now, don't tuck it into a closet or behind your desk or put it like in the back seat of your car. Make it visible so that you can regularly interact with it. And feel free to change it and modify it, like Kelly said, feel free to add to it or build upon it or build new ones as you go forward. So today I want to teach you a process that can help you manifest those images that are on your vision board. And this process was taught to me by, came through kind of two sources. So is everybody here familiar with the law of attraction? Everyone, yes? Anyone not? A little so-so, Carrie? Okay, so the law of attraction, just to make sure that we're on the same page. Well, who wants to explain it to me? Who wants to tell me what is the law of attraction in your own words? Yeah, Carrie.
So thinking about like an example. So if I'm always saying, I'm going to be single forever, I'll never have a boyfriend, woe is me, blah, 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 I'm so lonely, then the universe hears that and says, oh, Carrie's, like the universe assigns a label to me that is lonely, single, no boyfriend, and I'll manifest more and more of that. Whereas if I flip it on its head and say, I am so at peace, I am so filled with happiness, I love the people around me, and the man that I'm going to marry is rushing toward me right now. He's being prepared right now, and I can't wait to meet him, and I'm going to the gym, and I'm living the kind of life that I'm going to have when I'm with him. Then the universe is like, oh gosh, there's a vacuum here because she's ready for her boyfriend and he's not here yet, so we've got to usher him her way.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that idea of what you perpetuate, what you think, thoughts become things, right? I think that's kind of the basic premise of the law of attraction is that thoughts become things. So if you think something, whether it's negative or positive, you will manifest more of that in your life. That's a great analogy of the boyfriend. Anybody else have anything they want to add to that around the law of attraction? Yeah, Yvonne.
So like when I think of a law of attraction, I think of that song from the 90s that goes, you only get what you give. Don't. But like that line right there is like so huge because not only is it your words that are important, but it's the energy that you're putting forth. It's the feeling that you're putting forth into whatever. That's also what you get back. And it goes for, it's positive, it's negative. It's across the board. So that's what I would add.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great addition. So you only get what you give, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Yep, absolutely. Who else wants to add to their understanding of the law of attraction? Yeah, Kelly.
Yeah, I've also learned is that it's important in how you phrase things. So even if you're thinking you're phrasing something positive by saying, I don't do this, it's like the universe doesn't hear the don't part, and you can still have the negative side of that manifest itself to you. So it's really important to phrase things very positively.
Yeah, absolutely. That language is such an important piece. So I agree with everything that you guys have described. And if you're new to law of attraction, I suggest starting with Abraham Hicks. We were kind of the foundational teachers of this work. Abraham is actually a source energy that's channeled through a woman named Esther Hicks. And whether or not you believe in that kind of thing doesn't really matter. If you just focus on the messages that come through Esther, like that's what matters the most. But the law of attraction is essentially when we create a vibrational frequency that is based around the way that we think, which is tied to our inner being. And the way that we think impacts the way that we act, which impacts the way that life manifests for us. So thoughts become things. And if you are having thoughts that are based on lack and scarcity and not enoughness, then you perpetuate more lack, scarcity, and not enoughness. If you have thoughts that are based on love, abundance, and possibility, then you create more love, abundance, and possibility. And this can be applied in every single area of life. And now it goes beyond just like, to use Mindy's word, the woo, right? There's actually some evidentiary elements to this. So if you think about it from a psychological, biological perspective, which is, a lot of the land that we play in here in Worth to Wealth, you are hardwired. Your brain is hardwired based on experiences that you've had in your life, right? And every single time something occurs in your environmental world, it's passing through a lens and a filter. And it's being computed and it's being kind of fit into these models, these old mental models, these snapshots of what you've experienced in the past. And your brain is saying, oh yeah, that's like that, so I'm going to put it over here. This is like that, so I'm going to put it over here. And when you have an experience in the outside world, that goes through the filter of your brain. And when it moves through the filter of your brain, it creates a thought, it creates an emotion, it creates a biological, physiological response, and then that results in an action. So, for example, your boss gives you a sideways glance in the hallway. In the past, when you were younger, your mother gave you a sideways glance in the hallway, you got in trouble for something. So you think, oh, that image comes into your head of your boss. You think, oh, I must be in trouble. In that moment, your heart rate starts to rise, your breath gets short, maybe your palms get sweaty, and then the next action that you take is you begin to worry and ruminate and wonder, and then you stop speaking up so much at work for jobs or opportunities or projects, and the next thing you know, you're not getting the promotion. So you've manifested this reality that you think that your boss doesn't like you, or that you're not good enough, or that you're going to get in trouble. And then that ends up coming to life because our thoughts become things. So if we can start to create thoughts that are in alignment with the vision and the reality that we want to manifest, then it's easier for us to bring those realities to life, rather than playing a game with ourselves where we're in constant conflict and resistance with that reality. The more we say, I don't want a man who treats me poorly, I don't want to make so little money, I don't want to be trapped in this job that I hate, the more we say that, the more we're going to get that. And we're at direct conflict and odds with our reality that we want to create. So the first principle of the law of attraction is to, like all of you guys have said, to step into positivity. Now, there is a process that you can use to manifest your dream reality, this ideal life. And it's called cosmic ordering. And that's what I'm going to teach you today. So Abraham Hicks used to talk about something that they called deliberate creation. And deliberate creation is the process of taking intentional action that is in what they call like right action or aligned action with your vision, with your desires. So that is deliberate creation. The law of attraction is not this. I am going to sit at home in my house and think about this man that I want and envision this man that I want and picture this life that we're going to live, but I'm never going to date. But I'm never going to go on Bumble or Tinder, and I'm never going to go out to like a restaurant or to an event. I'm just going to sit here, and then one day he's just going to show up on my door delivering my mail. Like, you have to still continue to be in deliberate creation around this life. So if you want to go to Petra, you can't just sit at home all day and be like, I'm going to envision Petra. You're never going to get there. You have to actually do the research, look for flights, book the trip, and then you can go. So cosmic ordering is an amazing process for actually making these powerful declarative statements to the universe, to God, to source, to consciousness, whatever divine, whatever you want to call it. So this is the way I like to describe this. Imagine you go to a restaurant and you sit down at a restaurant and the waiter comes to your table and hands you a menu. And then he comes over and he says, okay, what would you like to order? And imagine that waiter is like a messenger. And you look at that waiter and you say, well, I don't know, I just want what's good. The waiter's like, well, we've got a lot of really good stuff on this menu. Like, what are you in the mood for? You want chicken, you want steak, you want fish, you want pasta. and you just keep on looking back at the waiter. You're like, I don't know. I just want to feel satisfied. I just want to feel full. And I want to be happy with my meal. And I just want what's good. Can you just bring me what's good? The waiter's going to be like, I don't know. Can you give me some more direction here? And you're like, no, that's really all I got. It's like if you go to the universe and you make vague requests, you're going to get vague responses. You're not going to get what you want. So a cosmic order is specific. If you say, I want to be happy, what the fuck does that mean? Honestly, I want to be satisfied. What the fuck does that mean? I want love. What the fuck does that mean? Like, there are so many ways that that can manifest, and the universe is going to be confused, and the waiter's going to go back to the kitchen and go like, God, okay, so like this person, they just said they want to be happy, and I really want to fulfill this, but do you have, I have no idea what that looks like. And God's going to be like, well, I don't know. You're going to have to go back out there and ask for more information. And that comes in the form of tests for you. That comes in the form of not receiving what you want. That comes in the form of challenge and contrast. That's like God sending the waiter back out to you and being like, all right, well, let's see if we can help this person get a little more clear. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Like, you're not clear on what you want, and then life keeps giving you things that are clearly not what you want until you can say, okay, I got it now. So cosmic orders are specific. Let me give you another scenario. Restaurant scene again. You sit down to the table, the waiter comes over, and you are unsure what you want, but you see 15 people in the restaurant with the steak and the asparagus on the side and Oscar style, you know, with like the lump crab meat on the top. You're like, well, I don't know. Everybody else is eating steak with asparagus and crab meat and a glass of red wine. So I guess that's what I'll have. I'll have what she's having. And then the universe is like, okay, yeah, sure. All right. This is what you want. Waiter goes away, it gets cooked up in the kitchen, and it comes back, and you got this steak, Oscar style, with asparagus and a glass of red wine, but that's not really what you wanted. And so you're sitting here and you're eating the steak, and you're trying to appreciate the steak because you realize that it's a gift to be able to eat this fancy steak, but you're not happy. You don't feel fulfilled. That's what happens when we place cosmic orders that are based on shoulds. That's what happens when we place cosmic orders that are based on our comparison to others, and we're not doing it our Burger King way, and we're trying to just order that quick fix because we haven't put in the time and the energy to figure out what we really want because we're afraid that it's not available to us. Does anybody resonate with that? Have you ever like should on yourself and made orders or requests that aren't yours, that are somebody else's? Yeah. Everybody's like, yeah, that's happened to me. Another thing that we do when we make orders, you sit down at the restaurant and you think, well, I don't know what I want. I'll order it all. I'm going to order the chicken. I'm going to order the fish. I'm going to order the steak. I'm going to order the pasta. I'm going to order the salad. And I'm going to get the red wine and the white wine. And I'm going to get Oscar style. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it all because I don't know what I want. And then all of these things come at you and you're so full and you're overwhelmed and you can't possibly eat it all and you're still not satisfied. Right? So now you feel like you've got this feast, but it still doesn't give you that satisfaction. What we want when we make a cosmic order is to sit down at the table and to be intentional and to say, okay, what if I feel into this? What does my body need right now? What am I craving? What am I desiring? What is that specific request that I have that's uniquely mine? And you can look at the waiter and you can say, you know what? Here's what I would like. I would like a steak, medium rare, with button mushrooms and, sautéed onions on the side. Do you have onions? I didn't see that on the menu, but can I make that request? Yes, of course we have onions in the back. Okay, awesome. I'd like some caramelized onions and a piece of cheesecake. You can bring that with dinner, actually. I don't want it after dinner. I want it now. So that's what it really looks like to make a cosmic order. It's a clear and specific declarative request to the universe. Does that make sense? When you write these, and I'm going to give you a chance to do it in a moment, you're going to give you a chance to play with this. When you write these, you want to make them powerful present tense statements. Actually, I'm going to go grab one of my notebooks. It's in my other room. And I did this exercise not too long ago for myself, and I want to read you some of my cosmic orders. Would that be helpful for you to get some examples? Okay, hold on. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Okay. So I did this process with one of my mentors. Her name is Allison Bird. If you guys don't know her, she's freaking a rock star. Yeah, Yvonne, you know Allison. She's like amazing. I love her. So she taught us this cosmic ordering process, and I was just like, I'm obsessed with this, and I'm teaching it to everyone. So I just want you to see, these are all of my cosmic orders. And I even have like additional, okay? So as a guidepost for you, don't hold back. That's what this says to you. We're not talking about making 2 or 3 requests. I'm talking about like, go for it, girl. Like, write it, like, let it out. So let me read a couple of these to you. The way that you want to start this phrase, and you'll see in your cosmic ordering worksheet, is you want to say, I'm ordering from the universe, or it is my highest desire to. Not I want. Why do you think we don't say I want? Was that Yvonne?
Pondering over the change in words. Like I haven't quite processed why, but I like it. Like the desire, because the desire sounds so much stronger. You know what I mean? Like it just sounds like you're willing something, you know, more cosmically. That's how it feels.
Yeah, yeah. That's totally it. When we say want, it automatically has an assumption of not having. I want it because I don't have it. Versus I desire is like, it's coming from a higher place. It's a pulling in, not a striving towards. Does that make sense? So we say it is my highest desire. And I love that language, my highest desire, because that means like my highest self is calling this in. My healthy self, if you watch that video that I did in the group yesterday, my healthy self. So when you make these cosmic orders, you are making them not from your survivor self or your defended self, not from your core wounded self, which is that small, scared, hurt, in pain little girl. This is coming from your healthy self, your divine self, your guided self, your highest self. So that's why I really love this language. It's my highest desire. So it's my highest desire to, let me just find one. Okay, this one's still in process for me. It hasn't happened yet, but it's on its way. It is my highest desire to manifest a personal assistant who can cook, shop, and clean at my home. It's my highest desire to join a high-level networking community like Genius Network to build relationships and learn from leaders in business who also become partners. By the way, I'm actually building that now. I thought I was going to join it. I'm actually creating it with somebody else. My highest desire is to bring in additional salespeople who are at the top of their game. I did that. My highest desire is to work with the world's best coaches and consultants. And like Allison Bird did that. Marissa, which is one of my mentors, did that. And Tony Robbins. It's my highest desire to find a publisher who will take my book to the masses in a way that is creative, easeful, and aligned. Let's see. It is my highest desire to be open to learning and experimenting. It's my highest desire to embody my message and my power. It's my highest desire to focus on what will be, not what was, to be limitless in my thinking. It is my highest desire to play in possibility and trust myself and the divine. It is my highest desire to make powerful requests and believe and to receive the responses with grace. It is my highest desire to be in my attitude of abundance. Let's see more concrete things. It is my highest desire to partner with amazing conferences, events, and companies who stand for what I stand for. It's my highest desire to bring the Vortex Tour to life, to speak to rooms of all over the country and convert at least 100 people into Worth to Wealth. So you can see like the specificity in these. They're really clear, and you can categorize them. So in the worksheet that you have, which I'll share my screen with you now. Share screen. Oh, I hate that this does this. It's like this little bar and then it gets in my way and I get confused. I can't find my direction. Okay, so can you all see this right now? Okay, great. So in your worksheet for your cosmic orders, I've kind of built this into separate categories. So what we want you to do is make at least 3 powerful declarations in each category below. So Worth to Wealth, like what is your highest desire in this journey? Career, business, it's my highest desire too. Physical health, it's my highest desire too. Family and relationships, it's my highest desire too. These are just some categories to get you started. Feel free to add on to that. Add something in there around travel, fun, and adventure, for example. Could be another category that you want to explore. So you're going to write these powerful, it is my highest desire to statements, and they're specific, and they're affirmative, and they're positive. So what we don't want is to say, it's my highest desire to eventually start a business. Womp, womp. Nay, nay. We want to say, it's my highest desire to call in 100 clients in my first year of business. Like, that's the level of specificity, the claiming, the declaration that we're looking for. Is this making sense? How do you guys feel about doing these cosmic orders? Like, what's it bringing up for you? Who wants to share? Are you excited about it? Are you nervous about it? Do you think it's a crock of shit? Kelly.
I can feel myself wanting, like, battling with the shoulds. Like, oh, I should do this. You know, and just trying to figure out, okay, what is my highest desire? Like, that's going to take some deep soul searching to really figure out, okay, what truly is my highest desire? And how do I phrase that to be helpful and beneficial and moving in the right direction?
Can you tell me what one of the shoulds are?
No, I can't think of anything specifically, but like, I just, like, it's almost like writing in my journal. I mentioned this before, I think, but like writing in my journal as if someone's going to read it, you know, okay, I need to write what they might want to read. Well, this isn't about what I want them to read. This is, what is it? You know, what is it deep down inside that I personally deeply desire as my, you know, that I want to put down. So
yeah, that's
kind of throw away what anybody else thinks.
Yeah, that's such a powerful insight. I'm hearing that part of you, this the part is like, oh, what if somebody sees? I don't want to be judged, right? Like, I don't want to be judged for making these orders that are not right. And a great place for you to go to if you're getting stumped around this are your core values. Your core values is an awesome place to start. These are the drivers for your highest desires. Because if you're calling in your highest desires and you notice that they're counter to your values, then you're clearly off track. Right? Or if none of your values are showing up, then you're clearly off track. So bring your values up and remember that feeling, that feel-good feeling that you had when you guys were living into your values a couple weeks ago, and use that as a baseline for this. Great. Thank you, Kelly. That's really powerful. What other thoughts or questions come up when you consider doing these cosmic orders? Yeah, Yvonne.
So I guess one thing that comes up for me is, like here's the thing. I don't want to play small. I want to play big. I want to make sure that my cosmic order is big, but I also want to make sure that my cosmic order fits my belief in terms of where I am. So for an example, like if I'm like, you know what, I want $50 million. Well, I'm not at $50 million yet. I can be at $1 million. You know what I mean? And then it's like, well, is that playing small? And it's like, well, I mean, you got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't want to undersell myself.
How might you turn that into a yes and? Are you familiar with the concept of yes and?
No.
So it's a concept in improv. So if you've ever done improv or seen improv, one of the cardinal rules of improv is that you never say no. You never say no, and you never say but. You always say yes and. So if somebody comes in, if you're in the middle of a scene and somebody comes in and is like, I have a gun, you would never be like, no, you don't. You would say, yes, and it's a water gun. So when I say yes and, that really means that it's a both, not an either or. It's a continuation of, it's a combining of, it's not an either or. So for example, maybe instead of saying, my highest desire is to make $50 million, you might say, my highest desire is to make my first $1 million on the path to earning $50 million. To make my first $1 million by the end of 2022. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So you can yes and it, not either or no but.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Yeah, so I'm glad you called that out. Notice if you guys are no butting yourself through this, like, no, but that's not possible. So say to yourself, well, why not? Why not? Why not me? Why isn't that possible? Other people make $50 million. Why can't I? Just give yourself that permission. No one's reading over your shoulder that's going to judge you or tell you that's not available to you. Because that's kind of what I think a lot of people guard themselves from when they play this with themselves. It's like, ooh, like all these people in my life, all these naysayers are going to be like, you can't do that. You can't make a $50 million. Like, who do you think you are? Right? So know that you're going to be sharing that with us here in this group, but we're pumped up, we're excited, and we want you to play big. So go for it. So here's your assignment for this week, and we're going to post this in the group and send an email out about it as well. Your assignment for this week is to write your cosmic orders and share them with the group. And to continue listening to your transformational recording. Is everybody listening to your recording every night? Yeah, good job. That takes a lot, right? You know, and that's not a small thing. To be consistent is a big feat in and of itself. So congratulations to you all for doing that. So all the deadlines and everything will be included. I think I have it by Friday is when you're supposed to have your cosmic orders in, or Sunday. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you will have a few days to get this complete. If you have any questions, comments, or comments, come up so you can post that in the group. So is there anything burning now before we close? Good. All right, so let's go around. Let's close our eyes for a second and we'll take a deep breath and we'll do a one-word checkout. So everybody close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Just take a moment to just check in with your experience right now in this moment. What is that one word that perfectly captures where you are right now? Snapshot of you. Maybe it's 2 words, that's fine too. Once you've got that, you can go ahead and open up your eyes. Okay, let's start with Kelly.
My word is contemplative.
Contemplative. Thank you. Mindy.
Anxious.
Anxious. Thank you. Carrie B.
Content.
Thank you. Carrie.
Delighted.
Thank you. Yvonne.
Rich.
Rich. Natasha.
Curious.
Mine is fiery. Thank you all so much for showing up and playing full out with us tonight. You're doing amazing work. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or come-ups, please post them in the group. And if you haven't already, do schedule your coaching session with Natasha before we get too far behind the ball. I promise you, it's an amazing experience. As you know, she's an incredible coach. And it's very important for you to get clear on exactly what your intention is for this time together and to set that container for the months ahead. So thank you all, and I will see you in a week. All right, bye.